When you look into their eyes, you begin to remember some things about joy and sorrow, and even about yourself. You remember that what endures is truth, what counts is integrity, and the first step for everything is the belief it can be done. What if becomes what's next, and wisdom lives between why and why not. We celebrate curiosity, and we honor all those who encourage and support it. And if you want to find where excitement lives, where exploration is the name of the game, and where the spirit of adventure thrives, come here. The Challenger Center for Space Science Education. Dick Scobie, Mike Smith, Judy Resnick, Elle Onizuka, Greg Jarvis, Ron McNair, Krista McAuliffe. What could possibly be a more fitting tribute to character, determination, and strength?
Your vision is not limited by what your eyes can see, but what your mind can imagine. Many things that you take for granted were considered unrealistic dreams by previous generations. If you accept these past accomplishments as commonplace, then think of the new horizons that you can explore. From your vantage point, your education and imagination will carry you to places which we won't believe possible. Make your life count, and the world will be a better place because you tried.
Using math, science, and technology, these girls and boys learn how to solve problems, make decisions, communicate with one another, and work as a team. When you look into their eyes, you begin to remember some things. The joy of learning and exploring, the profound belief that sorrow gives birth to hope, and the sure knowledge that though they may journey far, they will not lose sight of home. They will remember this time and this place, and they will inspire those who will follow.
Hi, my name is Julia Segawa. I teach at Stevenson Middle School in Honolulu, Hawaii. I've seen students from different ethnic and social and economic backgrounds come together in my classroom to train for Challenger Center, and they leave all of that behind. They all become scientists when they're training and getting ready to come to the center. So to see them all kind of grow and step out of social barriers and things like that is really priceless. It's something that I can't explain. When you see it happen in your classroom and when you see them interacting and working together and trying to problem solve something, it's really what I want them to walk away from school. Basically they can learn content and they can apply the content, and they have the skills to succeed in whatever it is that they pursue later on in life. And that's what I think having this experience at the Challenger Center is really providing for them, is they realize they have to learn, they have to be skilled, and they have to learn how to work together. And when they come to the center and they do the actual experience, they realize that, wow, this is something I will never experience again in my life. And it's also, at the same time, this is exactly what I need in my life. When we go back to our classroom and we debrief the mission, we talk about all the successes, we talk about all the challenges, we talk about things that could have been done better. But the first thing that comes out of their mouth is, wow, that was really cool. So and so, I can't believe you did that. You know, you're never like that in school. Man, you got it. I'm so proud of you. You know, you hear comments like this coming from students who have really kind of built a team, family, ohana, as we say in Hawaii, type of atmosphere. And it continues on throughout the whole school year. You have broken all barriers with this. They all of a sudden become one, and everything just changes. Socially, they all greet each other. They know each other really well. They know they've been through something really challenging together. And I think that's a bond that you can't break. You know, even if you're walking down the hall and you see somebody you normally don't hang out with, but you've done a mission with them, you say, hey, how's it going? Or how are you today? You say hi when before you wouldn't, you know, and then the successes that you've built together really stay with you. And so when you're doing new activities in the classroom that you've never done before, you're comfortable because you know that you can trust the people that you've been with, and you know what their skills and abilities are like. So you build that together, and it continues. We're really pleased with that, especially in the middle school. The activities that we do and the lessons that we do to get the kids ready for the mission itself, I think really are centered around a few things. The first one is critical thinking. Because the activities are open-ended and inquiry-based, the answers are not obvious to the child. And so they have to figure out how to ask certain types of questions. They end up asking questions like a scientist would ask in order to figure out how to get to the next step, you know, in order to accomplish the task for that particular activity. Also, another thing is problem solving, because not only do you think critically, but you have to learn different skills to problem solve different scenarios. I think what's really important is teamwork and trust, because they're working together. They have to figure out how to work it out. Now, these are all skills that are highly important in today's workforce. You know, you think about where we're headed with our global workforce and with the advancements of STEM in the whole world. These are the skills you want these kids to walk away with. This is something that's not taught explicitly. This is something that is kind of learned through all the activities that Challenger Center offers. And these are things that the kids, I know when they leave my classroom and they go on to high school and they go on to post-secondary ed and even into the workforce itself, I know they're going to be successful because they'll have those skills and they'll be able to work out whatever they are confronted with in whatever occupation they happen to be in. I know that they have it, and that's a good feeling. Our future is our students, and that whatever they take with them is what our future will become. And so the things that they learn here are just invaluable. They are life skills. These are things that will affect me later on when I'm a senior citizen. These are the kids that are going to be taking the lead in our society. You know, I still have high schoolers coming back to see me saying, can I please come back as a chaperone? Because I just want to go back there again. You know, and I have students that have gone on and they now have a stronger interest in science, in technology, engineering, and mathematics. These are all things that they encounter while they're at the Challenger Center. The nice thing about Challenger Center and the mission itself is that all kids can participate. I've brought kids that are just learning English for their first time. I have special needs children. I have children who are very, very shy. You know, I have the gamut of students. You know, being from the school that I'm at, we have a wide range of abilities, of social, economic status, and the lessons and activities are scaffolded so that success is possible for all. And I really feel that Challenger Center kind of sparked that interest in them, and it continued with them as they went on through education. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of our students in Hawaii and across the world, that when asked why they're working for NASA, or asked why they invented something new, or asked why they improved on technology, they'll say, you know what, when I was a kid, I went to Challenger Center, and it was really cool and awesome. And the things that I learned there, I've now taken and internalized it, and I'm giving back to the world. And that, I feel, is the best gift we can give any kid.